Okay, this is the vlog for July 20th, and this is a little bit early, isn't it? Sort of. It is early. It is earlier in the day than I usually do these. In fact, it is 4:20 right now. Blaze it. Um, so why am I doing this so early when I usually do it more around 7:30 to 8 o'clock or even later at times? Well, it's because my work is now using a new schedule. My shift starts at 9 o'clock in the morning and goes until 6:15 at night, mostly. We also do a 45-minute lunch in the middle of the day. This winds up making my workday roughly 8.5 hours long, I want to say, when you factor in the fact that my lunch is not paid. So 8.5 hours each day means that by Thursday, by the end of the day on Thursday, I have already worked 34 hours. Yes, I am that bad at math. That wasn't me exaggerating it. It actually took that long to figure it out. So I've worked 34 hours by the end of the workday on Thursday, which means to work a 40-hour week, I only have to work until 3:30 with a half-hour lunch on Friday. So we get out on Friday at 3:30 in the afternoon, which seems great. I'm not a big fan of half-hour lunches because I don't have much time to do anything, and I usually go out to get my lunch. I might need to start bringing in a lunch or making my own lunch at work more often with this schedule. But what I was really excited for, what really depresses me, is the length of my commute when returning home at night. My commute to work in the morning, I leave very early in the morning. To get to work at 9, I actually leave at 7 o'clock. I then stop at Starbucks and spend a little more than an hour there just making notes, working on whatever sort of side project I have at the moment. That was where I did a lot of the writing for my book, and is now where I do a lot of the writing for my campaign setting. It takes me usually less than 15 minutes to get from home to that Starbucks, and then it usually takes about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on the traffic lights, to get from that Starbucks to my work. So that's a total travel time of roughly 17 to 20 minutes-ish. And that 20 minutes leaves me essentially with an hour and 40 minutes to do with whatever I want in the morning, which is nice. I really like doing that. I really like getting up early and making use of the early part of my day when I'm sort of freshest, honestly. And then I get to work and I work, and it's not like I'm not putting in a lot of energy. I put in a lot of energy today. I've been putting a lot of energy in all week, but it's sort of when my brain is the most creative. So I want to use that part with my free time, and I want to use my focus and my ability to just do tasks with the rest of my day. Unfortunately, when I finish up at what used to be 5:30 and is now 6:15, traffic is not nearly as kind. Instead of taking 17 to 20 minutes to get to work, it takes me at least half an hour to get home from work, and often takes me 35 to 40 minutes. Now, that's really pretty good in the grand scheme of things. I know a lot of people all over the country have much more arduous commutes than I do, and I don't want to make light of their time in traffic. But what frustrates me so much is the traffic. It's the sitting and waiting and the stop and go and having nothing but, whatever you're listening to on the radio or on your iPhone or whatever it is that you do. And thankfully, I found that listening to Critical Role is really good for that kind of thing. It's really easy to just, listen to their voices, and the fact that they're always sort of doing something different means that you don't get bored as much as you do when you're listening to the same song that you've heard a bunch of times. So that's good. I like that. But my big, like, the thing I was zeroing in on with 3:30 is I thought, finally, I'm going to leave when there's no traffic. There'll be no traffic when I get home. It'll take me 15 minutes. It took half an hour to get home today. Actually, it probably only took 25 minutes, which is still better by 5 minutes. But at this point, I feel almost like, why bother? Why bother doing this and shortening all of our lunches? Just so that we can, get home early on our Friday. And I understand what it is. I think for a lot of people, it's kids. It's having an extra 2 hours to play with your kids, to interact with your kids, to be with your kids right at the start of the weekend. That's a positive thing. It's something I'm taking into consideration given my sister is having a kid, and I'm going to be an uncle. So I'm not going to get as much, use out of it since she lives all the way on the East Coast. But if she were in my shoes, I'm sure she would be much happier to be able to spend time with her baby. But otherwise, it does seem a little... I mean, the good news is it does make the workday fly by on Friday. The bad news is that's not always a good thing, because I kept telling myself I had plenty of time to do a couple things that I meant to do this afternoon, and I only got a fraction of it done. I don't know if I'm going to get talked to about my performance on Monday. Is my beard really having that dramatic an effect on the lighting of this? So if I do this, now most of my face is beard, the picture seems to darken. And then when I go back to being a big white guy, hey! I left this light off because it's also starting to warm back up. By Monday, it's supposed to be 90 degrees again. That'll be Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday's my mom's birthday, so I'll be doing something with her, I hope. And then later next week, it will cool off, and I'll talk more about feather meat as that gets closer and it becomes more and more of my life, my world for one weekend out of the year. Whew. So until then, I've been Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.